like how do you save time to like write on your blog or whatever regular
time management. That is a really good question too, because it is really lengthy. You've got to like have your time when you sit down and do it. And I personally do mine. I try to do it at night. I have 2 kids, so
we have alone time. That's when we do.
Alone time with my laptop in bed.
It's our 7th panelist.
I knew he could come.
Not
be a part of it.
He's a blog. What do you do when someone cuts you down?
He's the blog widow. We have that.
So, do you guys want to start with that?
Time management. How do you find time to do?
I quit my job.
It's really, that's a hard question for me, because sometimes the business is so busy I can't. And then blogging for me, it's sort of, I don't plan it. If something comes to my mind, I do it. It's not like every day I have to think, what am I going to do? So it's just random.
Sometimes I find that I get on a roll, and I'm able just to like do a whole bunch in a row, and that's good.
You
And
just pre-write them and
yeah, and then I just schedule them, and those are really good times when I'm like, oh, and then there's this and this and that, and I'm in a really good place. I noticed that it definitely, how much I post and how hard it is to get it out is definitely equal to the amount, like whatever's going on in my personal life. Like if I'm completely stressed out about something, I can't write. I just can't. I don't even really want to. And I'm like, oh, the blog, you know, hovering.
I think something that,
I'm sorry, kind of a corollary. Do you have like a word count that you? I mean, do you try not to? Does that figure into your like blogging at all?
I think a lot of it depends on the kind of blog. Obviously, like for Susanna, she's a writer. That's what she does. I actually just tweeted that question the other day, and that's so nerdy. And I think we'll all agree it's a balance of photos and a little bit of writing. You want your voice to come out, but you don't want it to overwhelm to the point where, especially at the very top of the post, you know, that's what people see. Not a lot of writing right there. I usually, if I'm summarizing or telling a story or whatever, put it at the very bottom, then it's kind of optional. And
That's a great point.
For me, it's a little different because my background is actually in creative writing, and then I came to the design side of things, and so I view each post as a short narrative.
I'm a writer too. So
yeah. So sometimes you just kind of know when the story is done. So that might be 5 images accompanied by captions. It might be 8 images accompanied by captions. And then also you can sort of judge, well, how many comments am I getting off of this post? Does this seem like too much for people to absorb in this amount of time they want to spend on my blog? Maybe I need to cut it back from here on in. It's always an ebb and flow. You're always playing and tweaking.
I wanted to talk to Tom too.
Oh, sorry, you're done.
Well, you should talk to Tom too. He's an actual writer. But me being not an actual writer, since I write very limited things, like just really quickly, tone is so important. Like, it's so funny. My sister-in-law is like, your life is so glamorous. You're like a Sex and the City. It's so crazy. And I'm like, if you only knew that I'm like asleep by 9:30 on my couch. But tone. My tone is, my life is so glamorous. I'm so darling. Look at everything so beautiful and perfect. I'm sipping champagne. I'm dynasty. Like, so I really constantly, even though they're quick and short, I always talk from that point of view that like, it's just so glamorous. So
I think of that tone a lot because mine's a personal blog, so you know, Thursday rolls around and I think, God, I've been really wordy this week, and I've been really like schmaltzy mommy this week. I need to like, you know, pull it back and do something funny, or God, I've been so down lately. And then I've had readers email me and say, you know, you need to cut it out. And I'm like, well, what do you expect? I just lost my job. So it's definitely a conversation that I have with myself about what I should write about, and I do try to sort of balance it, but then again, I also really feel like it's important for me to be honest. So if I'm, you know, feeling really down and I'm going to write about, you know, a bubble party, it's not going to work. It's not going to fly. I think people will be able to see right through that. I don't know. I just made that up. It just seemed light and, you know, bubbly. And then I just wanted to say about how often do you post. I make myself post once every week. I'm sorry, 5 days a week, but I give myself the weekends off. And that's just because I know myself. I know that I'm lazy, and I know that tomorrow is sort of like my own slippery slope to never. So, and it sucks because, on Tuesday night I think, God, I have nothing to say tomorrow. So, Wednesday morning I'll get up and I'll just start cruising the internet looking for something that will inspire me. And, 9 times out of 10 it does. The 1 time out of 10 I just kind of shoot off a crappy post, even though I know that I probably shouldn't. People are going to read it. Yeah. And it's for myself because I know if I don't, then, it'll be so much easier the next day to not do it. But that's just me.
I'm drunk.
She leaves it to Stephanie Klein. The Stephanie Klein. She has the Stephanie Klein's a blogger from way back. If any of you don't know her,
she's got a book deal.
Oh, a few.
Yeah.
Who started blogging, I think, like 5 years ago, and she truly positioned herself and fancied herself as the Sex and the City. She really was Carrie. When someone asked which one she, I bet would have said Carrie.
Yeah.
And she would write everything. Like, I would die. She exposed herself so much, and she had a lot of the postings were, I wrote this while I was drunk. And she would keep them up. That takes courage,
Yeah.
I cringe, but I'm good for her. I don't have that kind of courage.
Well, I don't either because I'm not that glamorous. Mine is like, I posted this after 4 Krispy Kremes. And that's just me being honest. Yeah. I'm feeling kind of doughy.
I wanted to say one thing about how often do you post and that kind of thing. It's, and you kind of touched on this earlier, it's great to have a fallback day, like Thursdays. I do my room of the week. I know it's super easy. There's a billion rooms out there that are gorgeous, and I put it up and I say, this is why I like it, and it's like my easy day, and giving yourself that out is huge, because we need that day. And I will also say that I will schedule time out to spend hours just going through a photographer's portfolio and pulling pictures that I like and filing them away for later, because there's nothing wrong with pretty pictures and people love them. And it's okay to have lazy post days. Like, it's completely overwhelming, but the pressure is totally put on you and what you want to get out of it. And I recently realized that I was posting almost 3 times a day every day, and I was just like, this is insane. I need to get out of the house. So I'm pulling myself back on that because a lot of the bigger blogs, they have help. Like, they're not just doing it themselves, and they're getting stories continuously emailed to them. And you have to remember, like, it's hard, and I have to remind myself too, because it's just me. I get stories emailed to me all the time, but I'm only one person. I can only do so much. I am not decorate. I'm not design sponge. This is not what I'm doing. So I think a post a day is okay, but it's nice to stock up on images, stock up on ideas, file them away for those days where you're like, I really need to post today. I don't have the time, but here you go.
Stocking up on images is key, because I do that constantly.
I have a question. Do you find that the longer the post or the short, which get the most attention?
Oh, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Total crapshoot. Would you guys all agree?
I mean,
sometimes I will put up one picture and, a bunch of people put it on Tumblr, or, people are like, oh my God, that's an amazing image, and you get like 30 comments, and you've just spent the day before 3 hours on an amazing post, and you get like 12 comments, and you're like, really? That's it? So
I don't get many comments on my actual blog, which is okay with me, because as soon as I blog, I post it on Facebook, and then I get all my comments on Facebook, and so to me, that's just...
The amount of hits, though, that you get are not equal to the amount of comments, and I think that's sort of this misconception that if you're getting a ton of comments, then you're getting a lot of hits. I have a fellow blogger friend who gets the same amount of hits a day that I get, unique, and yet she gets over 100 comments every time she posts. And it's the same amount, we have the same amount of
And
comments.
is she commenting a lot back?
She does nothing but comment. She comments all day long. She doesn't sleep a lot. She's commenting. She tried to tell me she tried to tell me that she only hit like 10 blogs maybe a day to comment, but I think she's doing far more. And she really works the relationships.
Well, that's what it is.
So yeah, so she is. So I just from that little thing, I realized, it doesn't really matter how many comments. That doesn't mean you have less people
reading that particular
No,
post.
I'll still have like 100 hits when I post it or 200,
Yeah.
but I'll get like one comment on my